What is going on, guys? Back with another Locked On Wizards podcast episode. The Wizards survive the Magic. They find a way to not lose on another 3-point buzzer beater. So let's get right into it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is going on, guys? It is your boy D and Ed back at you guys with another Locked On Wizards podcast episode. Thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen each and every day. We are free and available on all platforms. Ed, man, they escaped. The Wizards didn't get their heart broken again. What's your main takeaway from that Orlando Magic game?
Well, thank goodness for Bradley Beal stepping up and blocking Gary Harris's shot at the end, where it could have been another buzzer beater loss, and that would have been rough. That would have been a tough pill to swallow. The Magic are 7-34. This is the game that we had to take care of. We didn't take care of the Rockets, and this is one of the games that we need to come out there and have a statement win. But we started up 13-3, and then our defense was bad. At one point, Terrence Ross went crazy. He had 32 points. We couldn't stop him. Cole Anthony was getting to the basket. Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner's little brother, was getting to the basket. There was a lot of former Wizards on the court with the Magic, but we weren't defending well. And also the offense just looked kind of clogged again, kind of like what we saw before, guys were out with the protocols, like we talked about, less is more. And Dinwiddie coming back, Howell Neto coming back, Aaron Holiday coming back, Kate and other guys coming back, it just kind of looked like, your turn, my turn type of thing, Brad and Spencer kind of, taking turns, kind of still trying to get the chemistry going. It just looked like that offensively. But Kyle Kuzma, man, I can't say enough about it. He's playing at an all-star level right now. He really is. And he really benefited from guys being out, scoring 20 and 20. We don't win that game without him. We really don't. And he's playing at an all-star level right now. He really is. I got to give him his props for sure. But defensively, we just weren't there all night. And then we finally got it going at the end. Kyle Kuzma said that they blitzed Terrence Ross. They got stops towards the end of the game that we needed. We rebounded the ball well. We have 54 rebounds to their 42, so I thought we did a good job of that. We actually shot the ball fairly well from the 3-point line, 37%, so that's a lot better. And we started to move the ball. We got some open shots for Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal was getting downhill. Still got some guys in foul trouble. Daniel Gafford got in some foul trouble. Bradley Beal got in some foul trouble. But it just looked like we were still trying to figure things out offensively. Denny in the mix. And, of course, I got to talk about Rui. Rui coming back. Thought he played pretty well. He had a nice dunk. Had two dunks. He had a putback dunk. He had a dunk cut into the basket. And it looked like he was getting his wind under him as he did foul Mo Bamba on the other end. But I like some of the things that we saw. Not a pretty win, but an ugly win. But we'll take it. We needed all the wins we can get for sure. So there were some good moments, some bad moments. But I thought we took care of business and did what we needed to do. Down the stretch, getting some stops down the stretch in the fourth quarter, getting that block on Gary Harris and stopping Terrence Ross at the end.
Yeah, I would say main takeaway is I think they got lucky, man. My main takeaway is I think they got lucky because you look at Terrence Ross, known Wizards killer, 32 points. I mean, it was at a point where it was just he couldn't miss. It was good defense on him, couldn't miss, hitting contested shot after contested shot. And Magic go up, they grab a lead. You got Terrence Ross over here, the flamethrower, just killing the Wizards, and it wasn't looking good. It really wasn't looking good. Thankfully, they were playing the Orlando Magic. That's what I really have to say about it. I'm really happy they were playing the Magic, because if they were playing a better team, a team that wasn't the Magic, even if it was, let's say, the Pacers, definitely the Pacers, it would have been a different game, I think. But I'll take the W for sure, because when your team is struggling, you get a W any way you can. You're a struggling team, so you're going to get struggling W's. I don't care how it looks, as long as they get the job done, and they did. I mean, before I go into the spiel about every single player, I do mainly want to point out Kyle Kuzma, like you said, man, Kuz. It's crazy. Dennis Rodman type games, 22 rebounds. Dennis Rodman probably ain't putting up 20 plus points that much. But, the 22 rebounds, I mean, adding on the 27 points, he continues to get downhill. We seen it in the Magic game. When he was getting downhill, the Magic couldn't do anything with him. And I continue to speak on downhill. Kuz is a difference maker. He's a big difference maker. And the 22 rebounds, man, just him crushing the boards, career high. It just adds to his value on the team. I went back actually a while ago before I joined Locked On Wizards to where I was a guest on here. And I said I think Kyle Kuzma was going to have the biggest impact. It was going to be the biggest factor on the Wizards from the Lakers at that trade. And right now, when you put up 27 and 22, that's a pretty big impact. So definitely wanted to point out Kyle Kuzma, and I think the Wizards got lucky. I think those were my main two things right there.
Yeah, and Bertans hit back-to-back threes. He's some big threes.
Mm-hmm.
He did. We give him a hard time all the time, and he was about to fight Gillespie a couple of times. He got a technical foul. But yeah, I got to give Bertans some props too. He hit some clutch threes down the stretch.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said before, we get into some more thoughts about the game. We do have a message from our friends over at BetOnline. BetOnline would like to wish you a happy new betting year as we continue our march to the playoffs and beyond. BetOnline remains the #1 spot for all the best sports wagering action for 2022. New year and a new updated desktop and mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON to get started. From football, basketball, hockey, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2022 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. And also, guys, I want to thank you all for making Locked On Wizards your first listen. Now, for your next listen, check out Locked On Now podcast. Nightly recaps of every NBA game with analysis from our local experts. Listen to Locked On Now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or watch it on the Locked On NBA YouTube channel. Ed, I kind of want to get your thoughts on mainly Rui Hachimura. What did you think about Rui and his return?
Oh, I thought he looked good. I thought you could tell that he's getting back in basketball shape.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was huffing and puffing, but he had to get back on defense. And Mo Bamba had an easy dunk. He fouled Mo Bamba. I thought it was a clean foul. He shot a 3 and he missed the 3. Terrence Ross was cooking everybody.
Yeah.
So I did see Terrence Ross get a couple buckets on Rui too. Rui was 2 for 8 from the field, 0 for 3. From the 3-point line, but I love when he got the ball in the post and he swept through, went baseline, he got fouled, went to the free throw line. Let me make sure his free throws. He was 2 for 4 from the free throw line, so he's got to improve on that. He's a better free throw shooter than 50%. So 6 points and 14 minutes. So he didn't play much. The first time he got in, he was taken out pretty quickly. Only had 1 foul. So it's hard to play like that when you're just put in and taken out. But I like what I saw. He definitely added a different dynamic to the team. We need some more athletic guys that can finish around the rim and run the floor. So I was happy to see that from Rui. He basically picked up from where he left off. Now he is trying to shoot the 3 ball. He was good with that towards the end of the year. He improved his 3-point shot against the Sixers in the playoff series. So that's something that we need because we're just an awful 3-point shooting team. So if he does improve that, anything can help with spacing. So I like what I saw from Rui. 3 boards tonight too. I mean, on Sunday night too.
Yeah, I seen. When he got the offensive rebound and the slam.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was nice. That's vintage Rui right there, and I'm just happy he's back on the court. It's been a while. First game I wasn't expecting too much. First game back in who knows how long playing NBA basketball, not counting the Olympics. Playing NBA basketball. Last time we seen him on the court was the end of the playoff series against the 76ers. So that's a long time without NBA basketball and being 5-on-5 in the NBA. But I mean, decent showing. like I said, you see some things like you said with the post, getting the foul called on him drawing the foul. And like I said, the offensive rebound and the putback, really impressed with that. So I was happy to see the things I did see from Rui. He'll get better as he adjusts to the NBA and the speed and conditioning once again. Because you can condition all you want, but that's not real time, real live 5-on-5 NBA basketball. But to talk about some other guys, Daniel Gafford, 3 blocks. I mean, he had 4 fouls, but he had 12 points, 5 rebounds. I thought he had a good game, plus 14.
Plus 14,
yeah. I know a lot of people don't care about the plus minus, but you care about it more when it's a nice big plus number. Spencer Dinwiddie, 8 points, 10 assists. So he was out there distributing. Did you feel like he was more aggressive today? Did you feel? I mean, against the Magic, did you feel like he was more conservative? How did you take Dinwiddie's performance?
It still looks like a guy that's trying to find his way with Brad. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't look the same. It is what it is, and he is coming back from health and safety protocols. So he missed at least 5 games. They did. Like Trez has missed at least 5 or 6 games. Neto missed 5. That's a lot of games to miss. And just be sitting around because I guess they got a quarantine or whatever. So that's a lot of games to miss. So that's understandably too. But when him and Brad play together, it just you could see in the Bulls game too. Honestly, Spencer didn't score that whole first quarter in the Bulls game. And then he scores 14 points in the second quarter when he's not playing with Bradley Beal. So the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. KCP played pretty well too. I got to give him his credit. He had some big threes to come out in the second half. We were down by 10 points at one point. It was looking ugly at one point. It really was. It was looking bad. And the Magic were getting whatever they wanted to get in the paint and going downhill, Cole Anthony. But KCP was one of the guys that definitely stepped up to help us win that game in the second half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely say KCP, 14 points, 2 for 4 from the 3-point line, 50%. So that's good. Brad, 20 points. Mm-hmm. Had 1 block in there, only 2 turnovers. So that's good to see. 6 boards, 7 rebounds. So he was distributing. Spencer Dinwiddie said in, a presser, he said he wouldn't mind being the shooting guard and letting point Bill be a thing. He sounds like Spencer's all for, trying to make it work, trying to find whatever works best for the team. He also said it's hard when you have all these guys playing in the rotation, which the Wizards do have. They have a lot of guys playing in rotation. Not tonight, but against the Magic, they had everybody but 2 players off the bench not play. That's a lot of guys playing, and I know a lot of people want the rotation to condense, maybe more of a 9-man rotation, so the roles can be a little more defined, condensed. So I agree with that as well. But
yeah, it's hard to do that though, because you got Trez coming back too.
Yeah,
so it's just like almost impossible.
It's tough, and that's where
Thomas Bryant's coming back too. It's just a lot of guys. It's a lot of guys,
and that's where you bring in trade deadline, which is like a month away. And what do you want to do? Who's going to get took out the rotation? Who's going to get moved? I feel like at this point, I really do feel like either Thomas or Trez may have to be moved because we're already talking about the rotation is a little too deep. I mean, Spencer has said it or, has made notions towards that. And then you got guys who are going to want the ball. Trez is going to want the ball. Trez isn't going to want to sit. You know what I mean? So
right,
it's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be tough, but I mean, I do want to give praise to Bertans for those 2 threes. Those were big threes. Those were definitely big threes. But Denny, the layup, you got to make your layups, man. You got to make your layups. He definitely smoked that layup. But, I mean, it's a little less worse because they came out with the W. And to end it off, guys, Ed, final thoughts, player of the game. X Factor as well. If you want to talk about a review about the next game a little bit, if you want, how you feeling?
Yeah, definitely want to talk about Denny. Shout out to the people watching and listening from Israel. We gotta, give our assessment on Denny, our constructive criticism. He's been off the last couple of games, and I said that a couple of videos ago and got some pushback. And I know he's 21 or 20 years old. He's still young. I know he's developing. The green shoes, they gotta go. I don't know what's going on with the green shoes, but he hasn't shot well since he's worn them. But yeah, just make your layups. You don't have to hit a whole bunch of threes, but you just got to finish your layups. And keep your head up. Don't put your head down. Keep your head up. Want to see the confidence. And he was oozing with confidence in the first half of the year or the first quarter of the year. I want him to keep that confidence. And there's ebbs and flows in the season. There's a lot of ups and downs. So he's still young. I like the potential a lot. And then about, making the trades and trying to condense the roster, I'm definitely not against that at all. But I do love, on the flip side, I do like the depth. If we do have injuries, if we do have the virus run through the team. So there's definitely both sides to it. But honestly, the offense, it did look at best when it was less guys. It really did. So, but, time will tell. We'll see when Thomas Bryant comes back. Greg Monroe, he gave some energy. He looks slow as molasses because, he is, he is on the older side, and he's been one of my former Georgetown Hoyas. So I'm rooting for Greg Monroe. He did look a little slow out there, but he was rebounding his butt off. Neto was 0 for 7, but he did play hard. I'll give him that. And player of the game for me was Kyle Kuzma. I mean, there's just no question. 27 and 22. The last player to do that was Antawn Jamison. So to be mentioned in the class of Antawn Jamison, Gortat was at the game too. So I know Gortat had some good games, but he never got a 20-20 game. Antawn Jamison got it. But Kyle Kuzma, he's in a good class. It's hard to get 20 and 20. That's legit. 20 points, 20 boards. That's hard to do. X factor for me. I might go with KCP because he has some big shots. Of course, it's easy to say Bradley Beal, but I'll go with KCP.
Player of the game for me, obviously Kuzma. Got to give it to Kuz 100%. Like you brought up the Antawn Jamison stat. I forgot what year they said, but they say 2010. It says that would happen in 2010, so it's a long time. It's 11 years, a decade.
Right.
X factor. X factor. Just to be nice, I'll say Bertans. He did only go 2 for 4, but those 2 threes were big threes and they helped. And when Bertans is hitting threes in the 10 minutes that he plays, that helps. That definitely helps. Those were big threes. I'll say he was the X factor just to switch it up. And I know you went with KCP. So I'll say Bertans on the X factor for sure.
And we got to clean up the turnovers too. I thought we turned the ball over too much. We can definitely get to Jerami Grant, man. It's the talk of the town today.
Yes, Jerami Grant. What you thinking about Jerami?
I like Jerami. Of course, like you said on Twitter, he went to a local high school. So if they do get him, then that's going to be on the broadcast 24/7. He is from the area. I mean, he's a good player. But the question is, does he really move the needle? And what do you have to give up for him? Does he really make us a championship contender or even an Eastern Conference contender? I feel like somebody like a Sabonis would make us more of a contender than what Jerami would. And I like Jerami a lot. He's a really good player. He played with Wes Unseld Jr. while he's with the Nuggets. The Nuggets beat the Clippers in the bubble when they weren't supposed to. And Jerami Grant was guarding Kawhi, and Jerami Grant is a really good defender. He's 6'9" with a very long wingspan. He's a 3-and-D kind of player. He's shooting 33% from the three this year, which is not great, but his role is different. Like he's more of an ISO player. That's what he's been. And with the Nuggets, he was like the 4th or 5th option after Jokic, Jamal Murray. They had so many guys on the team, and the Pistons, he's like the number 1 option. So the Pistons are looking to move him, obviously, because they got Cade and so many other younger guys that they want to develop. But he's eligible for a 4-year, $112 million extension after this year. So that is something to consider too. So it's just like, what are you willing to give up for Jerami Grant? Does it really move the needle? Are you willing to give up some of the young guns? Are you willing to – because the Pistons, they're not going to want Bertans, guys. They're going to want Denny. They're going to want Rui. They're going to want a first-round pick.
If only it was that easy.
Right. If only they're going to want a first-round pick. They're going to want Denny. They probably want Rui, and they probably want some people that can actually – I'm not going to say Bertans can't play, but they're going to want some young people because they're a rebuilding team. They're not going to want a Bertans.
They just traded for Bol. They want youth. They're projected to possibly be first pick, second pick, third pick again. So they definitely are looking to get youth. Get you for sure. I think Jerami Grant, as far as needle mover, I don't know how much he moves the needle. I will say it's different. We can't say this is what we do as Wizards fans. We can't say, oh, we're tired of the Wizards floating. Choose a path. What do you want to do? Do you want to just be average? And then when they get in the conversation for, I don't know if people feel like Grant's a star, but or just a really above average player. Maybe not a star. Do you consider Grant a star or do you feel like he's just a really good player?
Yeah, no, he's not a star. He's definitely a good player. He's better than a lot of guys in the league. He's top 100 for sure.
Yeah, and I know like a guy like Sabonis is probably above. I would say Sabonis will be above on my list too, but he may be a little too expensive when it comes down to it. But I mean, because if they get Grant, then that probably means they're going all in. So Bill may be really looking at that Supermax, and then you brought up the contract for Grant, and you got to figure all that out. But we can't complain. Like the Wizards don't do anything, they don't make no moves, and then when they talk about making a move, it's like, nah, I don't want to give up this guy, I don't want to give up that guy, and they complain about being average again. So they got to do something. I mean, if they want to go in and they feel like Grant's their best choice, do it. That's my final thought on it. Do it.
Yeah, I'm not against if Tommy Shepard pulls the trigger. I just want to see who's included. Of course, a Twitter GM, they had a trade that said Hollow Neto, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Denny for Jerami Grant, and it said success. So I don't think the Pistons would accept that trade, getting Spencer and Howell.
Like Neto's contract will be expiring because he's on Vetman. So I mean that could be a thing. I mean they could even possibly buy him out. I don't know. Dinwiddie's different because you know they got Cade there. I mean you could bring Dinwiddie off the bench and he'd be like one of those vet guys, but I don't know if Dinwiddie would want to go to Detroit, but coming from Brooklyn and going to DC and then going to the Pistons. But and they, especially with them wanting to focus on getting their younger guys in, like we just said. So I don't know if they will really want Dinwiddie.
Right. And then another trade I got, a mock trade that I saw here, this is from the Twitter GMs too, is Thomas Bryant, Denny, and Aaron Holiday for Jerami Grant. Now, Jerami Grant's making $20 million per year right now, which is fair. It's not crazy. Davis Bertans is making $16 million per year. So it's not a terrible contract. It's actually a pretty good contract for what he's hit per his play. So yeah, TB, Denny, and Aaron Holiday for Jerami Grant is one trade scenario.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas Bryant, you get off one of the bigs, of the three bigs. Aaron Holiday, small contract. Who was the other person?
Aaron Holiday, Denny, and and Thomas Bryant.
Yeah, and Denny, you go in there. So Thomas Bryant is young, ish, I believe. I'm not sure how old Thomas is, but I'm pretty sure he's young. Denny, that would be the main piece. But I mean, it's tough because the Wizards are kind of tied up with their picks. You know, they can't just go. They don't have picks to just throw at everybody. It's tough with their pick situation, which will make things a lot easier. But it's tough right now. So, I mean,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying at the end of the day, I mean, I'm for it. Do something. Don't just sit and be average and 500. Do something. You know, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say do something. Oh, don't do that though. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do something. You know, I'm fine. If you want to try. I have no issues with you trying. Just try at the end of the day.
Yeah. Here's another one. Wizards receive Jerami Grant, Trey Lyles, and Josh Jackson, and the Pistons receive Davis Bertans, Rui, Thomas Bryant, and a 2024 first-round top 20 projected pick. I think this is too much to give the Pistons. So I'm not a fan of that one either. So it just really depends on what you want to give up. Somebody else put Davis Bertans, Denny, and a 2022 first-round pick for Jerami Grant. So I like Jerami a lot, but I personally I wouldn't give up Rui for Jerami because I feel like Rui can reach what Jerami does. I really feel like that. And now what I think about considering Denny and some other guys and maybe a pick, I think I would take a look at that. But other than that, it's just for me it doesn't really move the needle. It doesn't move the needle. So, but if it's Sabonis, then yeah, I'm definitely throwing some guys in there because Sabonis has been to the All-Star game multiple times. He's still young, and he's making $19 million per year. Like that's a steal if you can get Domantas Sabonis. And what he's a guy, he's a big that can get triple doubles. Like last night, he was going crazy. Like I got to look at his numbers, but he's been averaging some crazy numbers. Sabonis, I feel like he would fit really well with Bradley Beal. On this team, and you would have that three of Kyle Kuzma, Brad, and Sabonis. I think it's a legitimate big three in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I mean,
who keeps this up?
Yeah, I think. I mean, Sabonis would be great. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would definitely be my number one option because I always say Cat, but I don't think Cat will be available. I don't know if the Wizards even have enough to get Cat. Sabonis, I don't know if the Wizards have enough to get Sabonis, but I wouldn't mind. You know, Sabonis is a beast, man. He dropped, 40 the other day?
Yeah,
I mean, career high. Guy's tough. I mean, he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy to defend. He's a tough guy to stop. I mean, he got 13 rebounds in the game right now against the Celtics currently as we speak. I mean, he's a great player, man. I wouldn't mind him on the Wizards. But that's all we got for you guys. I know we wanted to definitely throw that Jerami Grant talk in there at the end. Chime in on that as well in the comment section, guys. Let us know what you think. Do you like Grant? Are you iffy on him? I don't blame you if you are. You know, or do you just want the Wizards to try to do something or just rebuild it if they're not going to try to do anything? But once again, guys, thank you all for making Locked On Wizards your first listen each and every day. Now, for your next listen, Locked On Bets, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q, with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. It's free and available on all platforms. Well, Ed, do we end it off with a dub?
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Thunder. Do we end this Magic game off with a dub? Is a dub, or is it like, how you feeling? How you feeling?
I'll take it. And honestly, Kyle Kuzma, his last 5 games, he's averaged 28 points, 51% from the field, 13.6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. So he's playing his butt off these last 5 games. I got him getting 25 and 10. That's my bold prediction for tomorrow night.
Okay. All right. 25 and 10. I say tomorrow. I got a gaff game tomorrow, man. I got 15. I got 15 and 12. Could be 18 and 12. 18
points, 12 rebounds. Was that the game he had 8 blocks? That was against the Thunder, right?
I think 7, 8 blocks, something like that. Yeah, it was definitely against the Thunder. He went off. That was the game he went off. But Ed said he'll take it, so we're going to end it off with a dub, guys. We're going to end it off with a dub, man. Hopefully, we end it off with another dub against the Thunder. But thank you guys all for listening. Make sure to subscribe, 5 stars, or wherever you get your podcast. And we'll see you guys later. Peace.
That was it. Wizards. Peace.